Hello and welcome to episode 31 of our Hearts of Iron 3 Pubmaster series. So things aren't great for us. Soviets have been driving us back for the last few episodes. Last episode in particular, things went a bit south for us. For the last while, we've been trying to kind of prevent the Crimean Peninsula from being encircled so our troops could escape. Last episode we failed in that. We've actually been driven right back to the Romanian border. There are still a number of our allied troops trapped in the Crimea and continuing to fight, which is very good because it's tying down Soviet troops, but we have a big manpower problem. It's actually got better last episode because I shrunk the size of my army quite dramatically, but we're still about negative 200, negative 300 manpower, so that's not very promising, and it severely limits our capacity to launch counteroffensive against the Soviets. But I'm hoping we can pull something off here. I've kind of got a bit of an idea of the first move to do, and let's just see how it goes. So you see, I'm just giving my allies less ambitious objectives, or to try and capture Odessa rather than Stalingrad. And for now, got my SS back in a defensive line along the Romanian border here. There's a nice river which helps us to defend. Now the Soviet troops aren't actually in good shape themselves. They're quite low on morale. But, underground resistance. I've been building a few of these just because they don't require any manpower. And since I've got no manpower, I basically have to build things like underground resistances rather than troops. You see, I've got a bunch of them up in northern Poland, and send them all to spawn partisans as soon as possible, just to try and put some pressure on the Soviets, force them to pull some troops back to deal with them. But for now, as you see, things aren't looking great in Crimea, but there are a few divisions there tying down Soviet troops. There's the first of my partisans. They were defeated very quickly, so I disband them and it gives us a little bit of manpower. As I said last episode, it kind of feels like cheating, but it's the only way I'm going to get manpower anytime soon. Just waiting for my AI divisions to pull back behind the defensive line along the river there. And while it's happening, I'm just having a quick look around to see if there's any divisions worth disbanding. Can't really disband these Czech ones. I don't really want to disband that armoured division either because it's kind of expensive to make them. Nova Commando Africa's still got troops facing off against Liberia, but they're not actually doing anything. And plenty of troops facing off against South Africa, but again, they aren't actually advancing or attacking, they're just going to sit there. Whereas I've actually invaded Persia a couple of episodes back to try and get my Oberkommando Africa troops to fight, and my British allies, and I mean they have been, but not spectacularly. And all these troops trapped in Crimea, I'm basically just waiting for them to surrender. I'll keep them fighting as long as possible just to tie down Soviet troops, but realistically, there's very little hope for those guys. Have another partisan unit pop up there fairly shortly. And yeah, some of these divisions, they aren't in great shape. That one's at half strength, which comparatively is actually pretty good. I think it's really only my SS that's in decent shape, to be honest. I'm not really going to bother with technology. I'm researching lots of things, and the things that I'm on are already pretty advanced. I will disband the 14th Panzer, and might as well. That division had 300 or so soldiers, so not really a division. Got plenty of officers. I've got 3 times more officers than I need, So I could probably actually put some into technology, but I'm not going to bother, so I don't really care about technology at the moment. It's already pretty... Oh, 0 troops in that division, so that one's gone. Negative 327 manpower. Oh, there's a full strength Panzer division. And another one, and that one's not too bad actually. Okay, so basically what I'm thinking here, Soviets have advanced into Romania, and basically once they advance a bit deeper I can send my SS Corp up that river line and basically cut them off. At least that's the plan. Just going to get a few more underground resistances because I've got to use my industrial capacity on something. And basically the only other real option is either convoy ships, of which I've already got 1100, or, well, I suppose infrastructure or industrial capacity. And of course building more industrial capacity is kind of pointless because I'm just not going to have anything to use them on. I'm thinking now might be a good time to move up. I don't have a lot of SS troops, so I don't want to get too far just because I'm going to struggle to hold the line otherwise. I've got enough that I can do a decent encirclement here and trap a motorised and a heavy armour division as well as something else. And von Erdmannsdorf's divisions actually have to do a fair bit of fighting here because it's going to lead the attack the whole way across. But it is also the quickest way to complete the encirclement. Oh, and there's a guards division in there as well. So actually that's a really good encirclement. Only a few divisions, but they're all powerful ones. And I'll set Open Command of Europe to defensive now, since I'm not actually trying to pull out of the Crimean anymore. Well, Kepler got there first. Now, so I'll move Kepler up. And just leave von Erdmannsdorf to defend. Oh, 2 armoured divisions in that pocket. 1 heavy armoured, 1 light armoured. So it's only a small encirclement, but it's a lot of powerful Soviet troops who are leading this push into Romania. And if we can cut them off in time, which it looks like we're about to, because it's a very weak infantry division blocking us, there we go. So we encircled, what was it, 4 very powerful Soviet divisions? And I've got SS troops kind of spare that I can send to mop up this pocket. Just send some guys to support the Spanish holding the flank there, but it doesn't look like it's really going to be necessary. It looks like the guards and heavy armoured division here are going to collapse fairly soon. And it kind of doesn't really matter if the Spanish are defeated in the northern flank there. Another infantry division shattered. It's happening less now, but it's still happening. And a couple of divisions shattered. First Panzer Division, we might as well disband. And okay, we've basically almost restored the Romanian border and took out a bunch of powerful Soviet divisions in the process. So that's a very good start to the episode. Let's just see if we can make anything from it. Just push forward a bit to get the Romanian border back proper. There's still a couple of mechanised and heavy armour divisions on the front line here though, so it hasn't drastically weakened it. And the question is, what next? Soviets are attacking in Chotinu, so I'll send Kepler north and they should be able to defeat the Soviets there. My SS divisions have a lot of firepower, so they're pretty good as kind of a second line troop in defending, just because they don't take up a lot of front line, but they'll do a lot of damage if they've got another division there to hold the front for them. Of course, they've only got 1 armour brigade and 1 SS brigade, and because of research Schwerpunkt, the armour brigades don't take up much front, We see there 2 divisions have 4 width. So the SS division's got 2 of that, I'd guess. And 8th Panzer's been disbanded. I think my paratroopers have basically been in reserve the whole game. I don't recall them ever doing anything. Just support this attack the AI is doing here. Looks like we've got a decent chance of winning this, and we have been inflicting some heavy casualties on the Soviet manpower. Which is good, because I'm pretty sure that's how we managed to break the Soviets earlier, by just destroying their manpower. I mean, my manpower was destroyed, but I would really prefer it if the Soviets also had problems with their manpower. So I'm just kind of trying to hold the line here with my SS troops. We're doing alright so far. Did lose that battle in that little push again over the river there. But Kepler's doing good work in Poland now. Of course my SS Corps, well technically it's an army but it's only core strength, is scattered along quite a large bit of the front here. And that tank division's taken heavy losses. Well, so is our Polish cavalry allies, but it's good to see the Soviets having understrength divisions. And we've gained ground in the north here. That's very promising. And we've got some partisans in Lithuania. Not sure if I've noticed that yet though. And we've actually almost driven the Soviets out of Poland, so things are starting to turn around a bit for us. They spotted one of our partisan things, but our partisans in Indochina have been spreading. So we'll get these new ones to spread as well. Oh, there's another one just popped up. Actually, another 2 just popped up. And basically, hopefully, at some point, these will get very powerful. And then we can just use our partisan militias to drive the Australians out of Indochina. Things aren't looking good in Persia, but that's not my main concern. Disband those partisans, a little bit more manpower. And we'll disband that division as well, it's not much use to us. Here the AI is actually pushing back in south-central Poland there. And actually we're gaining ground in the Crimea, which is very good to see. It could just be that it's June, it's summer, traditionally a time of year when the Germans and the Allies did well. So maybe we've just got something going for us here weather-wise. Yeah, and the Romanians are pushing out of Romania now. Actually, it looks like the decent Soviet troops they had along the border here have all moved off somewhere. Which means that I might be able to try something here with my SS. I'll just pull them off the front line. I'm basically looking for another encirclement around Odessa, which I think will probably be the 3rd time I've done it this war so far. But something pretty easy. Traps, well, basically the Soviets will always try and defend Odessa, so we can always trap a couple of divisions in there. But you can kind of see the number of SS divisions I've lost when they... Well, I've got the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. So I'm missing 1 and 2, and I believe at one point I had 8. But a few of them have been renumbered, so... Over the course of the war, I think I've lost about 5 SS divisions. So just working out my encirclement here, it's going to be pretty straightforward. And this one can just go back, and it'll be von Erdmannsdorf who's actually going to drive into Odessa and take it, while the rest hold the encirclement lines. And you see the attack across the river here is pretty easy. Managed to fit 5 divisions on the front thanks to the narrow width of my SS divisions. And of course 5 divisions have a lot of firepower behind them. Now we've almost driven the Soviets out of northern Poland. And the AI's driven across the river again to the north of our SS troops. But I'm expecting this little encirclement will take a lot of pressure off the rest of the front as the Soviets try to relieve it. I'll send the navies back under the command of Oberkommando Commander Europe. I took them away because they kept sending reinforcements into Crimea. I'm suddenly feeling a bit more optimistic about Crimea. It's actually, well, once I take Odessa, my troops will actually be in a position to, you know, drive back up and relink up with the Crimeans. So it doesn't really matter if there are extra troops in there, because I think they're actually about to get relieved. Well, I'm thinking like one move ahead I've got to pull the Odessa offensive off. But it's actually looking pretty good so far. The French have even managed to push in front of where we intended our troops to go. And that division was only half strength in Odessa, so that's a very promising sign that the Soviets are actually having manpower issues. Which would explain why suddenly, over the last 10 minutes or so, basically ever since I did that little encirclement, they seem to have just run out of power. So I've seen some partisans down into southern Indochina. And you get them to spread down there. There you go, we've taken Odessa. And my SS troops, I'm pretty sure, are still in pretty good condition. But I'll give them a bit of time to recover while I tell my allies not to focus on Odessa anymore. We need to pick another target for them though. Yeah, I suppose we will go for this one. Dnipropetrovsk. I can never say that city. It's on the river Dnieper. And that's probably it's just a victory point, and actually a pretty strategic location there. An easy place to defend because of that river line. And hopefully the AI will be able to push up that far now. It looks like the Soviets have moved a few decent divisions in front of my SS troops, or at least a guards division there. There's an armoured division and some mountain troops. But none of their heavy armoured or mechanised, which are the ones that I really... well, I don't struggle with them, but they are the best Soviet troops. But I'm thinking... drive towards the Crimea now is the way to go. And... oh, okay, that's not the route I would have thought they were taking, but I suppose it'll do. Okay, we're actually one division short of our encirclement just because they're taking a long route, but hopefully the AI will be able to deal with that, or cover my rear for me essentially. Battle of Nova Odessa, those mountain troops are actually at under strength and poor organisation, so they are going to collapse easily. And then we'll hopefully go around the guards troops and trap them in this little pocket around Kherson, as well as basically trapping all the Soviet troops in the Crimea against my allies around Sevastopol or Simferopol. And it looks like the guards division is going to escape, but we're still going to trap a couple of infantry divisions. And yeah, we'll just get my SS to close the line as we advance, hopefully drive all the Soviets into Kherson itself, where they also won't be able to get supplied. Just because the AI didn't actually push up to support me at all, so there's a kind of a bit of a gap between my SS Corps and the nearest support troops. But here we go. Managed to encircle what looks like only one infantry division, but still it's an infantry division in Kherson, and about 3 more divisions in the northern Crimean Peninsula. And once our troops, or my allies in the Crimea, push forward, we'll actually have relieved them. And I'm pretty sure it was only like, what, 20 minutes ago I said that I don't actually have much hope of them surviving. I was just getting to fight on just for the sake of it, really. Don't really see much point in my SS troops to defend that province. It's not necessary to hold the line, and I don't want to take any more casualties than I need to, especially in places where I don't need to. And my allies are pushing hard. Well, actually, it looks like a bunch of German divisions have landed to help them out. Trying to finish off the Kherson pocket here. And there we go, we've linked up with the Crimea, thanks to that French motorised division. And Bremer's actually looking like it's in a bit of trouble there. I'm just going to move some divisions over to hopefully cover the line, but unfortunately Student's going to deal with Kherson before we can go help Bremer, and Bremer looks like it's actually recovered a bit. Now allies are pushing quite aggressively now. Basically they've gained 1 province across the entire length of the front almost. So hopefully that will accelerate as the Soviets just get under more and more pressure. We're just switching divisions around. Hopefully Bremer will get some support pretty soon. And yep, we're going to win this battle, but Bremer's division was almost destroyed there. Well, almost forced to withdraw. But things are looking pretty good for us, to be honest. More partisans, and again I'll disband them for the manpower. And how are things going down here? 1 new partisan cell, which I suppose is better than nothing, but I was hoping for more. And again, a very understrength infantry division, so the Soviets are having manpower issues. Or at least they're not able to replace their... It could just be their industrial capacity is low and they can't send reinforcements to the front quickly enough. But I don't think that's the case. I think they have run out of manpower, the same as I have. Which is going to make this interesting, because we are... neither myself or the Soviet Union are actually in a position to launch attacks here. We don't have any reserves. It's probably a case if I can replace about every 2nd soldier that dies, I've got a replacement for it. But I'm guessing the Soviets are in a pretty similar position, so we're basically just going to keep wearing ourselves down until somebody wins here. Just launching a bit of attacks, trying to inflict some more casualties on the Soviets. Might as well send it to Poland. And I'll switch these all. Well, there's nowhere for them to expand to now because we've retaken all the land around them. So they'll just start spawning passes and use. Oh, we've taken Minsk. I will just leave that as my allies' objective for now. Just try and get into a small push into Soviet territory, and hopefully it'll be enough that once we've driven up to that river line, the Dnieper, that the Soviets will just kind of be breaking. I'm thinking I should do something more with the SS now, but unfortunately they're kind of needed here. Their AI hasn't put any troops up to defend the line that they're holding, even to the extent that, as you see, there's a bit of a gap. And I'll disband that Panzer Division. Oh, we've just been cut off. But von Erdmannsdorf is here and will probably rejoin us up with Odessa in about 2 seconds. There we go. More V2 rockets. I mean, I suppose those are actually helping. There would be some Soviet industry within range of them, so they would be doing some work. 230 troops in Guderian's division, so we'll get rid of that. I don't need partisan brigades. Well, more partisans up here in Poland, so we'll get rid of them. And basically I'm just launching attacks now because I don't actually have enough divisions to hold the line here. So I'm just kind of launching attacks to prevent the Soviets exploiting my weakness while Bremer's division recovers. But it looks like Bremer's almost done so, so I'll move it up to the front and try and restore some kind of defensive line here. And unfortunately that motorised division had lots of soldiers. So maybe I underestimated how weak the Soviets are at the moment. Or perhaps that motorised division, or I should say just light armoured division, just hasn't been fighting. You see the 224th Infantry for the Soviets has taken about 20% losses that haven't been replaced, so every time I see a full strength division there's another one just behind it that's taken some pretty massive losses. And yet we've almost retaken all of Poland. And our troops are pushing on to Kiev. Still a long way to go before Leningrad and Moscow and the like, but I'm sure we can manage. The thing is, once the Soviets start breaking, it's actually a pretty short drive to all those places. We've just got to get the Soviets to stop fighting us. I'm just kind of getting my SS troops to attack. The Soviets have sent some powerful troops into this region. And as I disband some more divisions... What's that? Oh yeah, the Soviets have sent some powerful troops in there. I want to keep them off balance. I don't want their mechanised divisions to start pushing my allies back. So I'll just keep attacking for now. One more, 2 more, 3 more. So we'll keep them expanding. Oh, there was actually one in Hanoi. So that was pretty good. Oh, and there's another one. And of course, when the time comes, these will basically all be 1 brigade each. So we probably actually already outnumber the Australians in Indochina. It's just that qualitatively, the Australians are better. And a lot of my allied troops have been encircled there. It looks like they're about to be destroyed, but my allies, I think, can afford to replace them. It's just probably me, Poland, and possibly Romania that are really struggling for manpower at this point. Actually, Romania is probably fine. Poland, I think, definitely is. And what I'm doing here is the exact same trick you saw me before. Driving my troops up the river line to hopefully join up with the AI pushing into Kiev. AI is probably going to struggle to hold the front that I'm abandoning, but again we'd have circled a lot of divisions this time, including 1 mechanised, 1 armoured, 1 light armoured, and probably a few other important ones there. But it's a bit more ambitious than the last encirclement I did, but if we can pull this off, this would be a pretty significant blow to the Soviet forces here. There's not a lot of resistance in front of my SS troops. Only 2 more provinces to go. And von Erdmannsdorf has been forced to withdraw, which isn't critically significant yet, but it might be a problem if von Erdmannsdorf is attacked again. Oh, we've actually completed the encirclement thanks to a couple of our panzer divisions pushing forward for us. Which means that one of the armoured divisions I was hoping to encircle is actually outside of the encirclement, but I know it's been unencircled, so we'll just keep going. I was kind of contemplating seeing some SS troops back to help von Erdmannsdorf, but we'll just see what happens now. There's a number of AI divisions nearby, so hopefully they'll all be able to hold. And we've done it, at least in the short term. And my AI are attacking those pockets aggressively, so we've already defeated one of the pockets. And that one, I believe, had the light armor division in it. And the southern pocket's about to be finished, but you'll get to see that next time. So things have suddenly gone very well for us. We've, well, I suppose we've completed 3 successful encirclements, one on the Romanian border, one in Odessa, one in the Crimea, and we're about to complete a second one in southern Ukraine. And every time they've been fairly small, but we've already just knocked out a couple of divisions here and there, and the Soviets are obviously struggling. It was probably just they were right on the edge of collapsing, and then just losing those kind of 3 powerful divisions right at the start of this episode was just enough that they couldn't hold the line anymore, and my AI was able to start pushing them back. And then, of course, I took Odessa, and suddenly they've got less resistance because I surrounded a few more divisions there. Surrounded, I think, another 3 or 4 in the Crimea, and again, the front's gotten longer and they've got less troops to hold it. But this one here, if we complete it, which we've already done, we've already wiped out a couple of Soviet divisions. If we can complete this one, we have knocked out about probably 10 divisions, while getting our troops closer to Kiev, taking more ground in the Ukraine. And the Soviets, they must be feeling the pain here. Of course, so am I. I've got no manpower, and you can see my divisions are still shattering, and I'm still having to disband divisions just because I cannot send manpower to actually make them combat effective. But at least I've got my allies there. The French are there, the Italians are there, the Hungarians are there, and they've still got troops, they've still got manpower. And they're carrying me a bit, because I really should have lost the game by this point. But that's the good thing about puppets, is they'll always be there for you. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time.